Giving me an up-close and personal view. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Joanne Powell Show. I am Joanne. We are coming to you from the World Center of Broadcast Media, WCOBM Hollywood. We are coming to you in our live stream with breaking news today. In London, there's been a terrorist attack. 4 people have been killed. 20 people have been injured. One of those that was killed was a police officer. This is what we know so far. The alleged attacker drove his vehicle across the Westminster Bridge into pedestrians who were walking across that bridge. He plowed into them. Then his vehicle crashed. He went to Parliament, and when he was at Parliament, he actually stabbed an armed police officer. He was shot and killed by police. As we know, police are saying that he was apparently a lone attacker. He was not a part of any particular group. They are continuing to investigate into what's happened. They're looking in the area. They've locked down the area, searching to make sure that that is indeed the case. But as far as we know, he was acting alone. Once again, in London, there was a terrorist attack where 4 people were killed and 20 were injured, including the attacker. The attacker was killed by police. Well, in other news, President Trump and members of his administration are currently under investigation by the FBI. They are conducting a probe into the Russians and their interference into the U.S. election. The FBI Director James Comey testified on Capitol Hill this week, saying that there is no evidence supporting President Trump's claim that President Obama wiretapped him during his campaign. And the other bombshell part of this, of course, is the investigation, taking a look at the possible link between the Trump administration and any of those involved with his campaign. Let's take a listen. FBI Director James Comey repeatedly denied allegations by President Trump that he was wiretapped by his predecessor.
I'm not going to try and characterize the tweets themselves. All I can tell you is we have no information that supports them.
Now here, I think you've said there's been no evidence of an illegal wiretap by President Obama. Is that right?
I've said the FBI and the Department of Justice have no information to support those tweets.
NSA Director Mike Rogers agreed and also dismissed the White House claim that British intelligence carried out the surveillance at the request of the United States.
I've seen nothing on the NSA side that we engaged in any such activity, nor that anyone ever asked us to engage in such activity.
Comey confirmed the FBI has been conducting an investigation since July into Russian interference into the 2016 presidential campaign and whether Trump associates coordinated with Russian officials.
This will also include an assessment of whether any crimes were committed.
But he would not answer specific questions about the investigation.
Not a question I can answer. I'm not going to comment on anybody. That's one of those subjects I can't comment on one way or another.
Citing classified information and asking the committee to understand the position he's in.
It really isn't fair to draw conclusions simply because I say that I can't comment.
According to CBS News, those under investigation include former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, campaign foreign policy advisor Carter Page, one-time campaign chair Paul Manafort, and Roger Stone, a longtime friend of President Trump. Republican Committee Chairman Devin Nunes urged the FBI to speed up the investigation.
There is a big gray cloud that you've now put over people who have very important work to do to lead this country. And so the faster you can get to the bottom of this, it's going to be better for all Americans.
Comey says he does not know how long that investigation will take. Testimony continues in the Senate Judiciary Committee. The Senate is holding confirmation hearings on Trump's Supreme Court pick, Judge Neil Gorsuch. Some of those are calling for this appointment to be put on hold until after that investigation takes place. We'll keep you posted on how that goes. You can go to the Joanne Powell Show Facebook page if you want to watch the live stream of the rest of the confirmation hearings. It'll be going on for most of the day. And we're also going to be posting, putting live stream on the White House briefings as they come along. So make sure you go to our Facebook page to find out the things that are going on. Well, the other big news in Washington is the health care reform. This is the 7-year anniversary for the Affordable Health Care Act when it was implemented. It is also the day before Republicans are supposed to be voting. The House is going to be voting on the Republican plan. Their plan to replace and repeal Obamacare. It'll go for a vote. This will be President Trump's first high-stakes legislative test to him and his administration. Trump is basically making his health care pitch to House Republicans, who is still basically not on board. There's a lot of resistance to this health care bill, even though it's what the GOP is saying. It's their plan and their only opportunity to pass something. There are a lot of people that are not really happy with it. There have been some last-minute adjustments made on this proposal, trying to win over skeptical conservatives and liberals. Take a look.
This is our long-awaited chance to finally get rid of Obamacare.
President Trump is giving a last push for the new health care plan geared to replace Obamacare. It is a sales pitch and push to get the bill passed in Congress.
It's been one broken promise after another. Obamacare has been a complete and total catastrophe, and it's getting worse and worse by the day.
This is the first high-stakes test of President Trump and his administration. It has also forged an unlikely alliance of Mr. Trump and House Speaker Paul Ryan.
I'm really impressed with the president himself, rolling up his sleeves, getting involved, listening to members, brokering compromises, getting us on the same page.
During this rally in Kentucky, Trump is saying Obamacare is failing here. But in reality, the number of people uninsured dropped by 13 percentage points between 2013 and 2015. This is what Kentucky residents are looking for in a health care plan.
Deductibles, I want them more affordable.
So you're not sure all of Obamacare should be repealed and replaced?
Exactly.
Last-minute changes have been made to the bill to win over skeptical conservatives and libertarians. They include giving states the option of taking their Medicaid money as a one-block grant versus per enrollee, as the bill says now. The change calls for a work requirement for those receiving Medicaid. States would be barred from expanding their Medicaid numbers ahead of the Obama phase-out in 2020. The Obamacare taxes would be repealed this year instead of next. $75 billion would be set aside to increase the health insurance tax for those in their 50s and early 60s, something AARP says it will hold lawmakers accountable for if they raise health care costs for older Americans. The way things stand, with the clock ticking, it is still unclear whether or not there are enough votes to pass the bill. Well, joining me now to talk more on this, we have Damon Cianci. He is a professor at Cal State Northridge in the Health Sciences Department. I'd like to thank you for joining us on the show today.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, there's a lot of concern that millions are going to lose their health insurance as a part of this plan. The CBO, the Congressional Budget Office, basically saying that initially 14 million are going to will not have health insurance, and over 10 years, 24 million. What are your thoughts about this healthcare plan and how it relates to the healthcare industry?
Sure. Well, my view is that this is a cut and run bill. Mm-hmm. It basically takes us backwards. I really believe that. I think it's my personal belief that healthcare should be a right, not a privilege, and I think this current administration has viewed healthcare as more of a privilege. And I think that's the wrong prescription for America. No pun intended.
Well, I think that's an interesting point, because a lot are looking at this as a cut to people that are on Medicaid, and then it's a tax benefit for the wealthy. Those that are making $200,000 or more are going to come out on the good end of this.
Yep, I believe that President Trump ran with the Let's Make America Great Again, and I think this bill has been very disappointing, and I would say that his view should be let's make America great again for the elitists, because this really is a backwards bill. Because, again, you're going to have millions and millions of people not have access to health care. All we're going to be doing is accelerating the health disparities in America when people need health care.
And I found it interesting when he went to Kentucky to have his rally that the majority of the people in that state that voted for him basically are on the affordable health care. They're benefiting from it. So now he is looking at hurting his own constituents by taking programs like this off of the table.
That is correct. I agree that there's changes that needs to be made to the Healthcare Reform Act. My recommendation is to use a scalpel and make some very precise cuts and make it better versus basically turning on the chainsaw. And I think this is really a chainsaw approach, and it's not the right approach in my opinion.
What are your thoughts about those changes, that, you know, the more scalpel type changes? What are some of the things that you think might do well?
Well, I think very little, quite frankly. I'm really nervous in the current Healthcare Reform Act. People that can't afford it, it's a sliding scale payment system. So those individuals who make less money pay less into the system. What makes me very nervous now is that we have a system that President Trump and Paul Ryan are proposing that basically will cut current benefits. And another issue too is that there's basically, if a family is actually deciding on whether to eat or buy health insurance, what comes first is food on the table.
Correct.
And if a family has coverage under this new plan, if they were to drop it and then go back into the plan, it's a 30% increase in their rates to the people who need it the most but can't afford it. That's not acceptable.
Okay, well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have more discussion on this very important issue of healthcare reform in America. So you're watching the Joanne Powell Show. We'll be right back.
If you are an adult that began college and has not finished your college degree, let me put it to you straight. If your lifestyle and your standard of living is not becoming to you, then you should be coming to us. Oakwood University Elite Program. We are the fast, flexible adult degree completion program for the busy adult, like you.
Register today. Go to oakwoodleap.com or call 256-726-7098. It's time to leap.
For years, people have trusted McKay's Family Mortuary. We're part of your community and we'll take care of the details. We offer a variety of memorial services, including sea scattering and cremation. According to the Federal Trade Commission, the average funeral cost is over $9,000. We have complete funeral chapel service starting at only $31.25, casket included. Direct cremation starting at only $9.95. Visit one of our 5 locations and meet our caring and diverse staff. McKay Family Mortuary. Let us be the shoulder to lean on.
Thanks to Oakwood University and the LEAP program, I have now a college degree. So to the Spanish-speaking members of this community who feel that the LEAP program is something you should consider, I would say, ánimo a la universidad. Considere el programa LEAP de Oakwood University.
Go to oakwoodleap.com or call 256-726-7098.
Seize the day scuba for your best scuba experience above and below the sea. You'll find friendly staff, experienced PADI certified instructors, and state-of-the-art scuba equipment and gear. Join our dive club and we'll help you plan memorable scuba excursions. Immerse yourself. Seize the day scuba, serving Southern California. Call 949-220-0500 to create your scuba experience.
When I first started into the program, yes, I had doubts. I was really impressed with Oakwood University, with the faculty and the staff and the student body. It was a really good experience, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone who was thinking about going back and finishing their degree.
Register today. Go to oakwoodleap.com or call 256-726-7098.